at Just Matters, we acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which this podcast is being recorded today, the Dharawal people. We acknowledge and pay respect to the elders past and present. Hello and welcome to another episode of Just Matters, your social justice podcast talking about all the new innovations that are making for a more equitable society. I'm your host, Lainey Taylor, and today we are dipping into the field of education. Our special guest is a woman by the name of Lynette Sand. Lynette is a literacy expert who led the project team for a brand new social digital innovation by the name of KinPal. KinPal is a digital learning platform that was developed in response to the education gap of Indigenous students across Australia. It focuses on writing and sharing between Indigenous and non-Indigenous communities to create purposeful learning experiences and growth. Today we have Lynette, who is going to speak to us about the success of the platform. Welcome to the podcast, Lynette.
Thank you for having me, Lainey. It's great to be here today.
So tell me, what was the inspiration behind the KinPal platform?
So when we examined our NAPLAN results across our system of schools, we noticed quite significant differences in achievement in writing in particular amongst our student populations. So for example, our girls were scoring consistently higher than our boys, and our non-Indigenous students were also scoring consistently higher, both in terms of their achievement, but also their growth from years 3 to year 6. So it became an issue of equity for us, and we asked the question, so how can we lift learning gains for every student in our classrooms? And this would be regardless of their geographical location or the socio-economic status of their school. We know that effective writing instruction involves students having opportunities to write for real purposes, for real audiences, and to gain feedback throughout the writing process, both from their peers but also from other writers. And we also know that seeing yourself as a writer is a big predictor of success. So to achieve this very lofty goal, we decided we needed a way to bring our diverse communities of teachers and students together. So KinPal emerged from, the concept of a pen pal, and we expanded on the idea via a digital interactive platform.
And what are the main features of the platform?
Okay, so the platform features are twofold. One aspect allows students to engage authentically in the writing process by sharing their drafts for feedback. And this may be, for example, using a criteria rubric or even verbal feedback via a video chat. And another feature is the ability for students to engage in the co-construction or the joint construction of a piece of writing with students in other schools.
You mentioned the importance of writer identity earlier on. So how does the platform support students to develop their ideas as a writer?
Great question, Lainey. It's really important that students have voice and choice over what they write about and for who their audience is. So the platform provides an evolving suite of very diverse and culturally appropriate stimulus prompts. This might be things like photographs, historic landmarks, information videos, guest authors from Aboriginal communities. The list is endless. All of this supports students to write about something that they feel that they are an expert in, or even something that they're interested in, something that pertains to their own background and experience and interests. The second main feature of the platform is that we have embedded a teacher portal within, and this portal allows groups of teachers across grades or stages within a school to come together to complete professional learning modules, which are also housed in the platform. And these modules are designed around evidence-based practices for teaching writing effectively. We know that teacher beliefs about writing and how they see themselves as writers has a direct influence on the instructional decisions that they make in the classroom. So part of the professional learning suite for teachers is that they also engage in writing themselves and sharing that writing for feedback across the platform with teachers and possibly students in other schools. So we're opening up a world of opportunity.
So I'm aware that you've recently completed the pilot phase of the KinPal platform. Can you tell the listeners what kind of impact came from the experience and how do you see this innovation evolving in the future?
So the pilot phase of the program involved 4 schools, all with very diverse student demographics and geographical locations. We used a digital tracking tool across the 4 schools, and teachers moderated student writing samples and created student profiles to monitor growth across about a 12-month period. So we also collected data from pre and post questionnaires after surveying students and school leaders and teachers around all aspects of writing. Responses indicated a very significant shift in student engagement and just generally positive feelings about writing and the writing process, as well as an increase in teacher confidence in teaching writing. The results proved to be successful enough to warrant expanding the innovation across a larger focus group. And so we're really excited about the long-term impact on bridging the education gap, particularly for our Indigenous students.
Unfortunately, that's all we have time for. Thank you, Lynette, for speaking to us today. It's been wonderful to talk to you.
It's been my pleasure.